All right, so I'm recording on OBS.
This OBS thing, man.
Nani? Cringe.
Yo, you heard Stadio Alta, remember? The one in Shinjuku?
Yeah.
It closed. Closed down.
They closed. When they close?
I think
recently, this week?
I think it was last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sayonara, Stadio Alta. They closed down after 45 years. Huh?
45 years? I don't know if I ever went inside, dude.
I went inside a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yeah, I don't think I ever have. I've always met people outside.
Right. I mean, that's most people, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to meet? Alta no mae de. Yeah. That Stadio Alta, that screen outside.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Shibuya one, that was the screen of Tokyo.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because the Shibuya one, the one on Style Building, I think even when I went to Japan, like 2002, 2003, I remember people talking, like Brian was like, oh, this is new. The whole screen thing is new.
Oh, snap. What year was that?
I don't know. Maybe it was 2002 or 3 when they installed a big screen. Even has a name. The Big Q or something like that.
The screen does? Uh-huh.
But before that one, the screen of Tokyo was Shinjuku Alta, Stadio Alta.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same screen on Gansu.
They used the Alta one?
Yeah, because people outside, looking at the screen, looking at the screen, and the alien was like, "Kurono, you come fight me." Through that screen, and everybody's like, "Oh my!" Kurono and Tae-chan was in front of the screen watching it, and everybody's like, "Kurono, you go fight, man! Otherwise, we're all gonna die." So Kurono was like, "Ah, shit! Now I have to go." By the way,
How far in the story was that?
I think it's like pretty much like Ato later on, in later episodes.
Did you finish that series?
I don't know. Maybe. It was those giant aliens.
Yes,
it was definitely after Osaka.
Right, so that's around the time I stopped. I was trying to catch up this week. But then I ended up going back to old chapters just when you leave something for years. Like last time I read Gantz.
What happened? And you go back.
And the other thing with Gantz is people, I mean, I guess spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen this, but
dun dun dun.
Characters come back over and over again in Gantz. I mean, that's not a spoiler. That's part of the Gantz rules, right?
If you collect enough points.
Yeah, 100 points you can choose a powerful weapon, bring someone back to life, or go back to your normal life and have your memory erased, right?
Points in Gantz is Dragon Balls. Right?
What's that? Oh, right, exactly.
So
it's that
collect
concept.
Dragon Balls, and it's okay, bring Goku back, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Gantz is just what I liked about it. I mean, it's basically a video game. The layout of the story just allows you to do whatever the hell you want, which is always good to do something like that if you're going to do an ongoing series. But when I started reading, you see some characters, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what this is. But then I'm like, wait a minute. And some characters came back and I'm like, that's way a couple storylines earlier. And I'm like, okay, so I ended up going back even before the aliens just to catch up. So I started near the end of the Osaka chapter. But I like that series, man.
Yeah, I kind of got tired after Osaka, actually.
Yeah, well,
Osaka was the peak for me.
Yeah. I mean, now that I know that it's done, then I definitely want to finish the series. I want to see where it goes. The other thing that's interesting is, I think the last time I read Gantz was probably before, around the time I came back from Japan. So that's it's 12 years ago now. Which is crazy, right? So, but I've gotten into other, alien stuff and all this stuff I've been telling you about, ancient texts and all these things. And now going back to Gantz, yeah.
It all
going
makes
back to
sense
Gantz.
now.
Well, it's funny. I'm wondering how much of this, you know, I have a feeling that the creator is definitely into that stuff too, because of very specific information in there. But when I first read it, I didn't know a single thing about any of those things. Like I didn't know anything about, you know, the known alien races and like all this other stuff, right?
Asians.
So you know, now I'm interested in going back and reading, because even the Gantz stuff, I didn't finish reading this, so I don't know the reason behind the Gantz ball and all these other things. So I'm interested in going back. It's just, dude, so many chapters. Dude.
I don't know if this is official, but I saw one with it's the same. I don't even know if it was the same dude who drew that stuff or if it was a spin-off. There's a Gantz, but like in ancient Japan.
Oh, what? When did you see this?
I think I saw a page while Googling Gantz before, like a few days ago.
Oh, snap.
Like yeah. But yeah, man, Gantz is a series, like, I would always go back and read it from Ikkan, Volume 1, and still be like, omoshiroi.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. It's got good characters.
Oh, also, that
good
screen,
scenarios.
Stadio Alta screen. I mean, it was on like every drama, movie, everywhere. But top of my head, I can Death Note.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how L got him though, because he streams things in different parts of Japan to find where where Kira is, and one of the screen was Stadio Alta screen. It says like L
classic
in Old English, and people be like, "Oh my God, we're all gonna die."
It's funny how all these series they do. We've mentioned before that one of the things, at least I like about manga, is that it always takes place, or for the most part, if it's like in real life, it takes place in Japan, real places, and you always get the reaction from the public. Oh, we're gonna die. Oh, what are they? Are they demons? Like Gantz does that all the time. Like you get the social commentary through people reacting. There's always hundreds of people getting massacred in Gantz. Just randos, just walking around minding their own business, and all of a sudden, just everybody's head gets chopped off. But they'll always say, you know, they always have people looking at something happening and then being like, "are CG なの? あれ本当なの?" Like it's always like, "Is that real? Is that CG?
Are they shooting movies?" Like,
right.
Yeah, something like that.
Which it got me thinking though. Like I think one thing about Tokyo that anybody who lives there for a while realizes, or anybody who goes and then visits again, it's constantly changing. You know, like you have, you know, staple buildings and stuff, but even like the Alta stuff, looking up more recent footage of Alta, there's a lot of other buildings around it with giant screens and stuff.
Yeah, they
like there's one right next to it, you know. I don't remember that.
There's a 3D, I mean, it's pretty recent. That's why they call it the cat screen. Even the Alta screen, they call it the cat screen because they're like, and yeah, man, the cat screen. And they even have a live, what do you call it, live camera thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it says like Neko no meisen, cat's perspective. So from the screen down to looking down at the east gate, Higashi Deguchi, right? So you can see that real time on YouTube. Inside of Kabukicho too, they have
a stream of whatever's playing on the screen.
Not what's playing on the screen, but what's going on outside. So there's a camera just facing the street, so you can see people real time.
Man, so that's the snitch cam, dude.
I mean, yeah, man, that's the ultimate. I mean, if I was a terrorist, man, I'll be watching that 24/7. And even
well, also
there's a camera Kabukicho I think only I saw a couple. One was private, and one was just like the channels like Kabukicho Live Camera.
Right.
So it just shows like the street, Kabukicho Mon Street, and people just going back and forth. So weekends you see a lot of people, and like morning time you see like hosto dudes or a couple just like heading to the towards the station and stuff.
Right.
Everybody all tired and drunk.
That's what I remember about Alta is like usually, once the trains are about to start running, like around like, I don't know, like 5 in the morning or whatever. If you go by the Kabukicho Mon, like the entrance to Kabukicho, you'll see a bunch of hosts there, like just hanging out, looking all tired and some wrecked, like super drunk and like
just like sleeping on the street and stuff, right?
Yeah, like some of them are just like KO'd,
vomit, yeah.
I mean, that side note, dude, that host job, I thought about being a gaijin hosto, like around, before coming back, like just to check it out, see what it's like when I was in Osaka. My friends were like, nah, I don't do that, man. And again, like all the host stuff, all the Mizu stuff, it's like funded by the underworld of Japan and all that. So like, there are a lot of unsavory characters there and stuff.
Oh, of course, man.
And so crazy stuff happens. But I thought it'd be interesting. And also the other thing is, your job is to drink.
Yeah,
that's your job. Is to drink and talk.
A lot
right.
too.
So I was like, let's do this. Like what? But that's got to be a nightmare job for a lot of these hosts that come from the countryside.
Most of them.
They don't have a huge tolerance or anything. Right. And that they, and the customers, there's some real sadistic customers.
Yo, you have to drink a lot on command.
Right.
So that's the difference. And it's not a happy drinking, but still at the same time, you have to pretend like you're happy and do all the do all the host
your favorite, dude. All the dances.
My God, I can't stand those things, man. So what happened?
Yeah.
How was hosting?
Yeah. No, I didn't do it. I thought it'd be interesting because I thought, okay, this would be research for a manga for sure. You get to talk to a whole bunch of different people. The lady customers.
Yeah.
You're drinking, which, I mean, that's what I did at night anyway in Japan. Whenever I got out, and I never ended up doing it. But I remember seeing some of these hosts, they're fine, they drink, no problem. But you see some of these hosts are really like struggling.
Right.
Like they're just like super red. They're vomiting. They're like all knocked out and stuff. And like, it's like, yo, that's rough.
And they get beat up by the senpais too. No, if they do something wrong, and by wrong, it means it's something really stupid. It could be stupid, like, yo, like when we were doing this, the whatever,
your favorite
like
dances,
and all this stuff. Why you did with your right hand? Everybody was doing with your left hand. Just beat him up, yeah. It's crazy.
Ass beating for it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Oh man, got to do it right.
Yeah, man. But
yeah, so you would see in Shinjuku, you would see him outside the Kabukicho gate around that time in the morning, or like some stragglers. I don't know. I've seen them all the way out to at Alta, which you got to go under the bridge and cross and all that. What are they doing out there? Are there also hostel clubs around there, or is it like
after hour clubs, or like some of these hostels they do kyaku-hiki, catch it for because they have like asaheresu, the morning brothels, right? So like,
right before work, just start your day right.
Yeah, that too. Oni-san, you have 10 minutes or something like that. Yeah, man.
Right.
It's crazy because like those asaheres, we have to talk about those brothels again, man. That episode was that take was so long.
Right.
Yeah. But in the future, let's do it.
Yeah.
But even the asaheresu, the price is different. It's because some early
discount,
bird special type stuff. Right. A lot of hostel dudes, they go there in the morning because they've been being like all drinking all night long, and they're like not famous hostos or like iketeru hostos, so
Right.
they have to stress Hassan, take
Right.
out the stress somehow, some way, right? So they just go to asaheresu.
Do you think the girls that work at the asaheresu, do you think they have like that's the morning shift, or do you
No,
think they're
no,
there
just
from
so-
like all night?
all night? I mean, again, like those girls too, they can, if they're somewhat popular, shime, if they get picked by a customer, you have to pay more to pick that specific girl.
Right.
But if you're an unpopular girl, you just have to stay there till you meet your norma. Because most of them, I mean, nowadays it's kind of different. But back in the days, they have
Right.
mad shocking death, right? So they have like a daily norma.
Right.
So you have to, let's say, like you have to bring in 10万yen, whatever.
Yeah.
And let's say like this, like 5, 6 in the morning, and I only made 5,000. Then guess I'm gonna stay, work more for that extra 5,000 so I can go home.
Right.
So yeah, man, that world is pretty fucking depressing. Talking about
Yeah, it's sad, dude.
yeah, talking about sad stuff. Aratamae. That's a Japanese lesson. Aratamae. Ja aratamae de. Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Aratamae de. Man, I got stood up there many times too. By
Oh, really?
Yeah, by hip hop people, by label people, and of course girls. Some girls like dotakan. Dotakan means you just cancel it, like the last minute cancel.
Dotabata no dota and
dota
can no cancel. I see.
Let's say like we meet at 5. She texts me at like 4:57. Daku gomen, kyou ikenai ya. So I'm like, okay, what do I do now? That's why
You're already there.
Yeah, I'm already there.
How early do they tell you? They give you like a heads up, or it's
No, like you meet at
5 minutes early. Sorry,
5 minutes.
can't
But
make it.
5 minutes, I'm like, okay, now I can make some new plans. But it's like 3 minutes, or like maybe past 5. Let's say 5 o'clock. She texts me at like 4:57 or 5:10, 5:15. Like this thing came up, I can't come. Dun dun dun. Then I'm like, okay, shit. Then I would just go into Stadio Alta, just check out inside. It's mostly like clothes and those little zakka, those little things like lighters and purses and bags.
Right.
So,
Little knickknacks.
yeah. The thing is, that building's been around for 45 years. So inside is like super like Showa size. Super small inside. It's like one of those
yeah.
like, because I mean like even like Marukyu, you go inside, it's pretty small. And everything is like kind of like they had a DJ shop actually on the
At Alta?
inside Alta. I think it was on the 5th floor, the 6th floor. I bought a record back there. I was with Brian.
You guys have something to do, or you were just out there just
I think
hanging out?
that time we were just hanging out, and maybe I said I wanted to check inside because we're there, so
Right.
might as well like check what's inside. So I went inside and checked it out, and there was a DJ shop. And I was like, oh, okay, but all the stuff you could get it here too. So I was like, but the record bag. And I kind of felt like I wanted to buy something because I never buy stuff in Japan.
Right.
But at the time I was like, Nihon kita kara, let me buy something. I bought a record bag.
How many records fit in the record bag?
I think this one I bought was 50 or 60.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
if you fill that thing up, man, records are heavy to carry around, man.
Yeah. Does it have a handle or a strap or what?
Strap, handle, everything still is heavy.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Stadio Alta. Yo, and that's the thing too. I saw this page, and you know how in Japan, if there's a store that's been loved by the whole neighborhood, when they close, everybody in the neighborhood, go to that store to watch them close, right? For the last time, it's like, お世話になったから. And all the tains, the owner and the tain, like the bite or whatever, they come to the front and everybody's like, 今までありがとうございました. And they do the shatta thing.
What's that?
The
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is like a customary thing to do?
Yeah.
And what do people do? Do they clap? Do they cry? Like, what do they do?
Like they like, 今までありがとうございました. お世話になりました. People crying and shit.
They're like, thank you for your service to the community.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And that thing is real.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was living in Musashi Koyama, there was this little shop. It's kind of a pop-up shop, but they used to sell like Okinawan stuff. That was the first time I found out spam. Only Okinawa people ate spam in Japan.
Oh, right.
Yeah. People like,
Do you know why?
I don't know. Because there's a base.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. It's an American military base.
No, but still, I mean, back in the day, I get it. But I'm talking about like mid 2000s. Like my girlfriend at the time was like, yeah, man, all the time. I grew up with spam.
Well, you grew up. That's why, dude. You grew up with it. How many people grew up with spam in Asia? Zero, dude. Like maybe Okinawa. Like
Korea, a lot of people eat spam.
Yeah.
Yeah. We even have a fukabukuro.
Where did Korea get spam? Where did they get spam from?
From the base, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Now they have Korean spam too. Wannabe spam, Korean spam.
Is it spicy? Is that what they did? They made it
have
spicy.
spicy ones too.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nah, but that time, my girlfriend was like, oh, they have spam here. And my girlfriend was like, yo, 沖縄の食べるものだよ. Like, this is American. What do you mean? I was like, yeah, 東京の人あんま食べないよ. I was like, really? Tokyo people don't eat this? I was like, well, maybe once in a while, but it's mostly consumed by Okinawans.
Right.
So they're, oh, word, okay. But that store, of course, I'm talking about Musashi Koyama inside of Tokyo, right? So they didn't really do that good. So they were closing, and some people, probably like some Okinawan people who was living in the neighborhood, it's like, they just went to that store the last day of the store, and soto de, 見守ってあげましょう. I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, a lot of stores are kind of like that. Remember, the most recent one was, Sega Game Center, Sega Geisen.
There's like a
arcade, right?
An arcade.
Yeah. There's one in Bukuro, Ikebukuro.
Okay, that's the one by the theaters and stuff in that.
Yeah. It's pretty big, right? That one closed down.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
Yeah. So everybody, all the otakus or people used to go to that Geisen, gather the last day. Just like, 最後の日、見守ってあげましょう. Yeah, they closed.
Oh, snap. When did it close?
I think that was last year, something like that.
Damn, dude.
So people, nowadays people shoot videos of the last day of, and again, same thing. 今までありがとうございました. And ありがとう. People crying and shit again.
Who's there to answer?
Oh, the teens.
They're all outside.
The workers,
they're all like in front.
Yeah, and lined up workers and the
so they have everybody show up for the last day, right? For the
so
for the ceremony.
Everybody just line up and everybody.
Right.
今までありがとうございました. And Tencho's like crying and shit.
Right.
But yeah.
What do they do? What do they do here when something closes? It just closes and that's it.
It's like,
do they do anything
here?
Yeah.
Nobody cares, man. Like, oh, that shit's gone. Take that. Peace.
I mean, I wonder. Like, I can see how a family shop, like Ashtamachi, like neighborhood thing, I could see people caring. But like the Alta thing, I imagine is just because that screen. Are they turning that screen off? They're probably turning it off.
I told you it was a. Now they call it the cat screen, right? 2 cat screens, one 3D, one Alta. And again, they had a closing ceremony, so all the teens, the workers, and the tencho, the manager, they all lined up inside for the one last time. And on the screen, it was a cat saying like, ありがとうございました、今まで. And again, same thing. People taking pictures, videos. Arigato, sewa ni narimashita. I'll miss
Right.
you.
I think I've seen the cat one. That cat one's like to the left. I mean, if you're leaving the Alta building, it's to the right of Alta, and it's like a corner. It's like a corner shaped
the 3D one,
screen.
Right?
Yeah. So they're like things like
Yeah.
you got the visual effect of things like falling out of the building and stuff. Yeah.
But Arata screen too, it was a cat saying, "Arigatou gozaimashita." Something like that.
Japan loves cats.
Oh yeah.
Japan loves cats more than dogs. I'm gonna make that statement straight up. They favor cats over dogs. They like dogs, yeah. Wan-chan kawaii, yes.
But
They
cats-
like dogs too. But cats is like in Japan. Cats is like
it's a default setting.
yes.
Yeah.
They love cats, dude. I don't. Yeah, it's like a standard given that like.
I mean that's
Neko-chan.
why there's a maneki neko, right? Not maneki wan-chan, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, those. But I mean, Arata, besides like meeting people in front of him, inside, I don't know what. Nothing impressive inside. I think it's just it's been dead for years, but just it's nostalgia kept him alive till now.
Right.
And
I've met people there that I found out about Arata because that's where I was supposed to meet. They're like, Arata mae de. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And they're like, Arata shiranai no. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is. And then I go there, and of course, there's a lot of people waiting with their cell phones out. They're all looking at their cell phones, just waiting for somebody. And you know, you can leave the station and cross the street.
right.
There's
Or
different
you
like
can
deguchis, or you can go under and come through. So like once I came through and I was like, where am I? And then I came outside, and then like for me, the whole Tokyo thing, not very organized. Like I was mostly at home working on Peoplechu. When I went out, I would just look, I would ask somebody like, and they're like, go here. And then I would just like ask one of the, either like the koban, like, you know, higashiguchi wa doko desu ka?
right.
Sumimasen, oshiete kudasai. I would just ask, and then I would just show up, and that's it. But like, if you asked me to draw a plan of like, okay, what's the Shinjuku map or the Shibuya or whatever, it's gonna be a real like
Yo, good point.
limited map, like just the places I know,
Yo.
and the main areas, and like you're more of an explorer
Yeah,
when it
I
comes
am.
to like.
I was mostly
for sure.
outside, yeah. But
Yeah.
good point, because I was about to mention that right next to Arata, there's a deguchi there, an exit, right? Remember when I said this was few years back? I told you the busiest train station was Ikebukuro at the time, right? Now it's Shinjuku.
The busiest train station?
Yeah, now it's Shinjuku.
What do you mean by busy?
Just people daily.
The number of people that go through?
Daily. It's
More
not
than
o-
Shibuya?
Yeah, it's not only the busiest station in Tokyo, it's the busiest station in the world, man. Now Shinjuku.
Is that Shinjuku? Okay, I
Shinjuku.
believe that because so many train stations go to Shinjuku.
Yeah, there are like
I mean,
how
train
many?
train lines.
Lines, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
Yeah.
Shinjuku has mad exits too, and I don't
Right.
even know half of them. And I know Shinjuku, right?
Right.
And they say like they have more than 200.
Yeah. I mean,
Some
I believe
exits, like you just go straight into a department store, right?
that. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's especially Nishiguchi, because that's like the Odakyu line side. They have like
Right.
big old like Showa, made in Showa, huge department stores.
That's Odakyu goes all the way down to Chitose Funabashi, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first line I ever wrote was the Odakyu. Yeah.
Odaikyu.
Yeah. Odaikyu.
But yeah, man. Yo, how many lines? Like they say like more than 10 lines, that's for sure.
For Shinjuku?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one was number 2. Maybe Shibuya now. It's
Yeah,
either
because I remember-
Ikebukuro or Shibuya.
I remember that I think we talked about it in another video, but like I think Shibuya has like something like 12 million people go through Shibuya. At least like when I was in Japan, this is, you know, years ago now. but like 12 million a day,
But yeah.
that's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people going through your station,
Yeah.
and it's so clean.
And it has to do, and I think like the Jungi, the numbers, has to do with inbound too, like the tourists.
Well, I mean, it has to be more than that then, because
That's
back
why
then there was just like not as many foreigners as
No,
there
but
are
now
now.
that's why like Shibuya is like jumped up to number 2 or 3. So 1, 2, 3, number 1 to 3, Shinjuku, Shibuya, or Ikebukuro,
Right.
the busiest train
Yeah,
station.
I feel like those were probably always.
But even more,
Those
now.
are like- yeah.
with
Well, now that- yeah, that
with
everybody's
gaijins,
going-
right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
man. But yeah, man, like meeting people in front of Alta. Oh my god, yeah, man. Good memories and bad memories.
Yeah, the bad memories is just people not showing up.
Not showing up, just getting stood up. I mean, I guess not that bad.
Right.
Oh, talking about the exits, man. You know, some exits, because Shinjuku, if you go to underground Shinjuku, the train station, man, that's another maze too.
Oh yeah.
It's long. It stretches all the way down to Shinjuku Nichome, to Kabukicho. So all the girls, like Kyabajo or the Heresujo, like Fuzokujo, they don't get off. They don't get out of the station at Nishiguchi. There's another exit. You go inside, and there's a those exits that's attached to some kind of building, and it doesn't even look like an exit.
Yeah, like the Arata one was weird. It was like a narrow door.
Yeah, at least it has the sign though on the top, but it's really small. But like the one behind, you go out, you get out of that exit. There's no I mean, maybe now they do have it, but there's another exit without the thing, without the sign. So a lot of people, and you get out there, right in front of you, there's Okinawa soba place.
Is that another one of your favorite soba joints?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go a little down, that's another. Then there's Hakata Tenjin. So
Yeah, that's my spot, dude.
yeah, so you can go into Kabukicho without meeting people outside. It was
Right.
like Aratamae and in front of was it Rumine Isto, the building, Rumine Isto, like City Hunter building, right? Rumine Isto.
Yeah, that's like leaving the Alta building to the left, walking like farther
in front,
out, right?
in front of it, across the street. That's the station. It's a
Oh,
department
you
store.
go in. You go into the station to. All right, right. Yeah.
Rumine Isto. That's where Ryo Saiba, City Hunter, would always get his work. There used to be a bulletin board, and he's like,
Oh, really?
XYZ.
Okay, I never read or watched that.
Yeah. Then that's where he gets it. But it's funny because that manga was drawn in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a remake of that manga. I don't know if that was Netflix. Now they all have smart. They all have smartphones.
But it's an anime
now.
it's an anime. It's not a manga.
Anime.
Okay.
The remake one, yeah. Anime.
Didn't Jackie Chan do the live action movie?
That
of
was
City
back
Hunter?
in the 90s, though.
I never saw that either, dude. I don't know anything about City Hunter, dude.
I didn't really care, but City Hunter. Like every time I see Rumine, that building, immediately City Hunter. But yeah, again, real places.
Right. Yeah.
But you don't have to. If you're a Kabajo or if you're a Fuzokujo, you don't want to go. Do like hundreds of people outside waiting, right? So they just take the underground route. And
Yeah, or if you don't want to be captured by that snitch cam, dude.
Yeah, but back then they didn't have snitch cam. But nowadays, I don't think they even have a snitch cam on Sakura Dori, where I used to perform, or even
That's probably on purpose that they don't because
or that's why they have a private channel, because it's just a dude like on his phone, just on the window, just streaming without saying anything. But again, people who works in that industry, they don't take the main route, the big like Senta Road or even the Kabukicho road, they always go to different roads like Sakura Dori.
Right.
That's why I met so many girls there while doing the konbini nomi outside of the club.
Right.
Like the hosto dudes and the pimps and the fuzokujo, the girls. Kabajo.
all the friends, all the buddies out
Avengers.
Kabukicho Avengers, dude.
Yeah, man. That was some good time. Oh, Shinkun. I met Shinkun when he came back to Japan. Kind of weird me saying when he came back to Japan.
Right.
But kikoku shite. Like I met him in front of Alta. I think maybe I told him ja Alta mae de.
Oh, okay. I think I've definitely met Shin-san there too.
Yeah.
At Alta, because I remember that's one of the, because I didn't meet a bunch of people there, but I met Shin-san there. Also, most people, if I said, okay, let's go to Shinjuku, they'd say, where do you want to meet? If I told them like Kabukicho mo mae, they're like,
nah, man. Like, then Dota can. Felipe, gomen. Ikinakunachatta.
No. Then I would. Then again, I didn't understand why. I never thought Kabukicho was bad.
Well, me either.
I never did.
Me either.
But people are like, nah, we don't want to go there. But then there's always Don Quixote. That's usually where I would meet people.
Don Quixote.
It's right there. It's right next to it. So,
man.
Yeah.
I met Shinkun there, and he told me stories. He's like, Alta mae Shinjuku natsukashi na. I was like, oh, I had some memories here, a lot of memories here. Like, what'd you do? I'm like, yeah. Before he came to the States, he's like, yeah, この前で結構ナンパしてたんだよ、女の子。Nampa means pick up girls, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think that was the thing. Just, walking up to random girls and just like, 一緒に飲みに行く? Nani yatte
You think that doesn't happen now?
It does. But I think it's not as easy as before. Because now, if stranger talks to you, I mean, even when I was there, girls be like, oh, yada, nani. But it's kind of weird.
Why, dude? What were you?
No, because back then, I mean, I get it too, because regular girls and just waiting in front of Alta and just, looking at their phone. Then you have these people wearing like super baggy jeans, Timbs, oversized clothes, people with tattoos and stuff. And like, onesan nani yatteru? Then of course, girls gonna be like, yeah, and just.
That was your pickup line? Onesan nani yatteru? That was your pickup line? Damn, son.
Not me. I was just like hello. I don't think I ever like nampa'd outside in Japan. Maybe if it was like a izakaya or something like that.
Right.
But I don't think I ever walked up to a random girl and just like, hey, my name is this, I like you, whatever. Pick up girls. Nah, I don't think I ever did that.
Right. Well, I mean, usually like the Alta or like what's the name of the dog in Shibuya?
Hachiko?
It's not Sachiko. It's Hachiko. There you go. They're already waiting for someone there. Right, so like that's probably not the best place to do nampa. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, my boyfriend's coming. Just wait right here.
Yeah. Nah, but I've seen many dudes do that in front of Hachiko or like wherever, right?
Not there weren't hosts.
No, regular dudes too. And these guys, they don't have game, man.
No,
they be just like, kyoro shite, cool. I'm like, yo, like if you try to nampa, be bold about it. Don't be like, some dudes just like poking a girl, and girls just like.
That whole interaction is wild.
Yeah,
the poking is wild, and the doing this without
even
without acknowledging, without saying, hey,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, dude.
And it's not even like, yeah, or like, because Koban's right there.
Yeah.
Hachiko, right?
Yeah.
I think happens a lot. And like dudes just like, or not even this. They just like walk next to the girl and just like, to look at me
Yes.
type hand gesture. I'm like, man.
And these people are these young guys?
young guys or older dudes. Like, I mean, just Japanese dudes in general, man. But again, Shin-kun was like, yeah, like, ここで結構ナンパしてたんだよね. Okay, damn. How was your success rate? I was like, yeah. その後アメリカ行ったからね.
関係なくない?
Okay, man.
You just skirted the issue. Didn't even answer
maybe
your
you don't want to
question.
talk about it. So. But then I think this was towards the end of my stay in Japan. And I think he just came back from the States. So
Right.
maybe he wanted to, I don't know, buy me food because he knew what I've been through. It's like, yo, like, 帰る前に, let me buy you some.
お疲れ.
お疲れ. I'm like, yo, I'm not. It's not like I'm leaving tomorrow or something, but
No, he's like, yes, you are. I'm gonna take you somewhere to eat something nice, and then I want you to leave my country, dude.
Next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, went to this tonkatsu place. It was pretty close, and it's supposed to be famous tonkatsu place. What was the name? Like Oroji or something like that. It was one of those like weird tonkatsus. They roll the meat, then they fry it. So when you cut it, it looks like it looks like a futomaki, but it's tonkatsu.
Right.
It has cheese inside and stuff.
Oh snap! That's not traditional.
Yeah, but the store, it looks super traditional.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it like a trendy kind of oshare type place, or
No, just like Showa type, or just like a regular tonkatsu place. It's like a sliding door, Japanese style sliding door. You go inside. You have 2 or 3 tables and the bar.
Right.
And they have a lot of tonkatsu places. If it's not a chain ten, the rice and miso shiru is pretty much all you can eat. You can okawari, mugen.
Oh, okay. I think the first place I went to like that was already Osaka. Yeah, before coming back. Like, or maybe I'm thinking of like a tabe hodai place we used to go to.
Just a regular tonkatsu place.
Yeah,
But then, it's Japan. It's not like people going to be like, I'm going to eat 5 bowls of rice and
right.
2 liters of like miso shiru, right? It probably
It's
like
not for-
1 okawari or twice, maybe 3
Right.
times. 3 times you're doing too much in Japan. So,
Right. It's not for gaijin savages.
Right. Then we ate that. Then across the street, there was this big department store. Was it Marui or Isetan? It was a huge store. And I think Shin-kun, he wanted to go to drink with me, but I was broke. And he just came back, so he didn't really have that much money.
Right.
Then plus he paid for the tonkatsu too. So I'm not gonna be like, yo, like I don't have money. I barely have enough to, pay the rent and, eat and stuff. I can't, be spending extra money on all this money on some extra stuff.
Right.
And Shin-kun was like, it's okay. Let's go to this department store across the street. I'm like, department store? Why? I was like, there's this Okinawa sake festival.
Okay.
Like, they have like Okinawa, like shochu matsuri or something like that, right? It's like
Nice.
some
That
kind of
sounds-
promotion, yeah? Then like, okay,
Right.
so what, man? I'm like, why do we have to go there? You can have all these sample drinks for free. So we
like,
went there, went to the department store. Yeah, man. We
Were
drank
there a
like,
lot of people there?
yeah, good amount of people. So you got all the samples, like habushu, like Okinawan sake, shochu, whatever. And the thing is, like, after like 5 or 6, man, because it's all mixed. It's all champong right now inside of your stomach.
Right.
Then I'm like, oh my God, my head, super massive headache. I'm like, oh no.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Plus, it wasn't, I think it was wintertime because we had thick jackets. But then you go inside the department store, it's hot, right?
Yeah, super hot.
then your body just becomes like, on top of that, you pour in like habushu, Okinawan sake and stuff.
Right.
So we're both like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Let's go outside. Just went home after that.
Right. Like summertime in Tokyo, it's like when it's winter, it's super hot inside the train, inside everywhere. And then summer, it's super cold inside the train and everywhere.
Yeah, man. Especially like the heater inside the train winter times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. Especially in the last train. Get on the last train. Oh my god. Ever took Seibu Shinjuku-sen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seibu Shinjuku-sen. I used to live in Kichijoji, Kamishakuji, around that area.
Mm-hmm.
So Seibu Shinjuku-sen, I took that. And this one time, I took the last train, and I was running to the platform. And from afar, I saw people already just lined up for the last train, right? And it was like, no way all these people gonna fit into that one last train.
Right.
But we all fit in. Man, that was like the first time. Like I had like this fucking big puffer jacket. And I got it inside the train. But then, once you get in, people outside pushing. Now like
nobody wants to miss that last train.
You can't miss it, right? Otherwise it's
Yeah, no, it's real desperate. Like people, and everybody's understanding too. Like they're like, well, yeah, I got in, and I'm getting home. So like, yeah.
But like people super pushing, and there was this one girl, super pretty. I still remember her hair color because I saw her face, and for the next 40 minutes, I only saw her.
The back of her head.
Yeah, because she got pushed into me. So I had to almost like hug her the whole time. Like she was
had to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just being a nice American gentleman. Yeah, of course, man.
Right.
And like she was right here because this is the distance. Only your girlfriend, becomes this close to you, right?
Right.
And she was like down here. And keep saying "sumimasen" the whole time for 40 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, it's okay, don't worry, it's okay. Everybody's like this. It's okay. And
you so kind, Duck.
yeah, man. But then
it's okay. Just let me hug you.
Yeah, when she looked up, it was only us. Nah, all the way to Kamishakuji was kind of like that. Every time a door opens, people just spill out. And whoever gets out, just like, gets out. Then, the people who got spilled out had to crawl back into the train, right?
Right.
Man, that was brutal. Seibu
Yeah.
Shinjuku-sen.
Then there's the people who like don't want to step out of the train to let people out.
Yeah, they hold
just they're just people squeezing out.
But people just like sumo their way out, right?
Right. Well, that's one thing that drove me nuts was how people don't say excuse me to get through. They just push.
Just
and it's yeah, man. I remember once I just like I was stressed out. I'd already been in Tokyo a long time, and I was like just as stressed as other people there. And like some dude was just like like he pushed. Here's the thing, dude. Push. Don't push. Just say like, excuse me. Let me, すみません。ちょっと降りますので、すみません. They don't do that.
Funny thing
they
is,
just push.
They say
so, like,
sumimasen for everything else.
Except
but when
for
they
like,
actually need it, they don't. They're just like,
Yeah, no, that pushing stuff, I'm not a fan of that, dude. We're not cattle.
Yeah.
And I kind of blew up on the guy. And
was it the last train?
No, it wasn't the last train. No, it was just, this was in the afternoon. It wasn't like.
And the dude was still
it was just
doing.
Yeah, no, there was no need for that, dude. I mean.
Oh, man.
So I remember like I was going to a meeting, and then like I asked my editor like, yo, like why don't people just say like, excuse me, like I need to get out. Like let me out, please. I used to say it all the time. すいません、ちょっと降りますので、ありがとうございます。 That's it. But people don't do that because they don't want to talk to strangers, whatever the case may be. They're shy. They don't, whatever it is. They feel like pushing. I don't know what it is.
It's like, okay,
but
I'm so shy. Let's just push these motherfuckers.
Just push everybody. Yeah, dude.
Sumo my way out. But yeah, man, I think I did that too. Just like when I was about to, get off the train, I would just say like, excuse me.
Right.
Or like see my saying if it's like not that crowded, but I'll just say excuse me because it will call like.
Right.
Nani gaijin? And then.
Yeah, then they get out of your way.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Just fish my way out.
Right.
Man.
Speaking of gaijin, dude, there's some updates on a certain infamous gaijin.
The homie Johnny. Yo, that motherfucker.
Johnny Somali
cooked,
just from bad to worse to from worse to even more bad, dude.
Yo, so his trial was a couple days ago now.
Yeah.
Yo.
In Korea. He's been in Korea for like months now,
ever
right?
Ever since.
Yeah. So how long has it been? This was last year, right?
Yeah. So a good 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, dude.
Yo.
It's ridiculous.
Yo, that dude. The day before his trial, he was streaming and he was drunk. And people saying he was also high too. And the funny thing is, the judge, I don't know if it's a he or she, the judge is aware of that stuff too. And this dude, he showed up late to the court, an hour late or something. The legal mindset, the YouTuber dude, the lawyer dude, and this other YouTuber dude, Atozi, that dude.
Yeah.
Like he's in Korea, dude.
To cover, down, right?
Just cover this,
Yeah.
whole Johnny Somali thing. I mean, they mean business. So, he said, Johnny Somali, he showed up with his friend's suit, which was super big, the Asian dude.
Right.
And he showed the MAGA hat.
Right.
Yeah, and the dude was like, like that. And the night before when he was streaming, he said he was just like, I'm gonna just act crazy. And these people just gonna be like, okay, he's crazy. He's gonna man.
Plea insanity. He said he was gonna plea insanity.
Yeah, something like that, right? But man, these judges or prosecutors or like lawyers, they all speak English, man. But then, he got into the court, and as soon as the judge, started reading his charges, which he had like 3 or 4. They said the legal mindset said, like the 4th charge, his lawyer didn't even know it.
Right.
And he said there might be a 5th charge, and they don't even know it's coming.
Right.
And even inside of the court, this Johnny dude was like, making faces, doing all this stuff to them. And as soon as the judge started reading his charges, thing just...
Yeah, that smile wiped right off his face.
Mad quick.
Yeah.
Yo, so say maybe 3 to 5 years. We said 1 or 2 years should be okay, but it looks like it's gonna be 3 to 5 years. And who knows when his next trial is gonna be. Right.
Apparently he's got other charges in different places. This was a particular one, but he's got the AI stuff. The AI he did with that what's her name, Bong Bong, the girl streamer. I think she's and which I guess that's a serious crime in Korea to do deep fakes, deep fake videos with people, and this guy is ridiculous. Streaming everything, just telling everybody your plans and stuff on stream. Again, he doesn't seem like a very. He doesn't seem very bright, and he doesn't. I think the biggest thing you take away from this is he really didn't think this was very serious for some reason. I don't know why he thinks that, or he just doesn't care, man. Maybe this guy is just super self-destructive.
I think a little bit of both, because that's what he did in Japan, right? It's like, all this stuff, I still got away,
He got away with it though, that's why.
So now, Japanese people, Korea's doing favor for Japan and all these other countries. So again, man, it's going to be Kankoku arigato.
Yeah.
On the comments.
He's like he was the great uniter of Japan and Korea. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Man.
You know what? I watched a recent video from this legal mindset guy, and I wonder if this guy, I don't know, like, I don't know what kind of videos he normally does. Does he do like court case, like, you know, because it's YouTube, right? So I imagine, does he do cases about like murders or some weird stuff like that? Is that what he talks about, or like what does he talk about normally?
Started watching him when this Johnny Somali thing came up in Korea.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, this guy, like, he's doing this. This is illegal. This is illegal. He was talking about those things because he's an expat living in Korea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people were like, okay, how we gonna punish this dude? And that was the dude who was like telling people, you know, what could it be? And you know, he's still, again, man, that dude was on Johnny Somali's ass from the start.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I saw him with Atozi after the trial or like this first court date he had, and the guy was all like giddy about it and like just loving it, like, oh, and you know what else is gonna happen to him? And I'm like, what? I mean, again, why? Who's this guy to you that you care so much? I get it that like that's his YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure that got him a lot of eyes.
Probably that.
I mean, man, our Johnny Somali video did pretty well too. So
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, yeah, I think that's probably part of it. But I guess he had a whole bunch of new subscribers that are specifically interested in Johnny Somali, and so like watching this video, he was like giddy, like he was really loving this, like this whole thing.
I know what it is. See, that's the thing, you know. That's the whole thing about this generation and this YouTube thing too. Because back then, it was only artists or like musicians or, you know, like celebrities who got all that attention, right? Like normal people, I want to say normal, but you know, non-entertainers.
Yeah.
When they get that a little bit of attention or whatever, they immediately like, look at me now.
Yeah, because
I've seen it. Like, I mean, even Johnny Somali is like the pinnacle of that, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, but you know, the legal mindset. I mean, he's a lawyer, right? So I mean, he's a practicing lawyer in Korea.
I kind of noticed this too because in the beginning he was pretty chill about things, but now he's more playful about things, being like, yeah, haha, type.
Yeah,
with this, man. Like his picture in front of the courtroom, dude was like standing next to the door, and that dude's a giant, man. I was super surprised. Like, he was standing next to the door, and that was like this much space left, standing next to the door. And as soon as he popped up his picture, like the chat was like, "Yo, like, how tall are you?" It was like, "Yo, I'm 6'6". We're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's a big lawyer, man.
Yeah, and Johnny was like, to him at the court. Yo, man, this dude is twice your size, man.
Right.
But
yeah, it's funny. It kind of felt like listening to him because I would imagine if you're a lawyer and like, you know, you're talking about the court case and like the legal specifics of things. He's talking, this would be 2 years, this would be 3, whatever.
Right.
You would kind of just be matter of fact about it, but like.
Plus, you wanna keep that persona too. Like cops always do that, right? They're like,
seem like
whatever.
The professional, serious.
Yeah. Then they make type cops. Like I think lawyers should be doing that stuff too.
Right. I mean, but this guy was just like, oh, and then guess what? Like he was like gossiping and stuff. And it's like, man, but
then I'm like, yo, like maybe he figured out how to YouTube now.
Yeah, it might be that.
People are loving it though.
Well, you know, I think and rightfully so. A lot of people are just really upset at this guy. Like they hate him. You know. Like, I don't hate him. I've seen the stuff he does. It's really obnoxious. I mean, he deserves what he's getting right now. He fully earned it. He worked real hard to get to the point he's in right now, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's probably something wrong with this guy. Not to validate what he's doing or to give him an excuse, because I also don't believe in just giving people a pass because you know, he's like this or like that. Like, no,
So
I mean,
what?
people are
Yeah.
But we, you know, I mean, recently things have gotten kind of out of hand with that, where it's like there's excuses for all sorts of things that weren't acceptable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's me sounding like an osan, Nihongo wataru osan, but like, dude, there used to be like a social standard of moral standard of like, okay, you go past this line, like that's just unacceptable. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you got going on.
Right.
If you sound like you should know better and you're acting like this, then you know.
Man. But yeah, I mean, that dude probably hates himself. Because he constantly said, back then, even Japan, whatever, like I've seen some clips of his streaming. He constantly says like, oh, I'm 5'2", Ethiopian. I'm 5'2". I mean, so what, man?
Does he want pity points for that or something? I mean, like, what does that even mean, dude?
Probably he's like, yo, why I'm not 6 foot, you know?
6, because you're not a lawyer. You're not legal mindset.
6'8". But yeah, that dude was like, keeps saying like, I'm 5'2", Ethiopian. I'm black, whatever. I'm 5'2" and this. I'm like, so what, man? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to give you a pass. That's not a reason to act out, dude.
But yeah, man. Again.
So, I mean, he's looking at least 3 to 5. I mean, well, the other thing is this. I think they also mentioned that there's like certain stages to like what do you call it? Like there's certain stages to like a prosecution, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They numbered it, and they said like from 1 to 2. If they won't pursue it like to the extent of like the maximum extent they can, but like this streaming thing he did, showing up with the MAGA hat. They asked in court you can't wear hats is apparently a thing in Korea, right?
Oh,
it's a sign of respect, I guess, right? Obviously, like in other social situations too. But also the wearing the hat inside is like that's a real American thing, dude. At least in my experience, dude. Like other countries, that's kind of a you go to eat, anywhere you go, you take your hat off or you just don't. But here it's kind of you just wear your hat wherever, right? But he took, they asked him to take his hat off. He took it off. Then he put it back on once after they asked him to take it off. And then the other thing is, this is like a cultural thing, right? The whole time he was speaking, he had his hands in his pocket. And according to legal mindset in Korea, it's very disrespectful to talking with your hands in your pocket.
Even in Japan too.
Yeah.
Talking to like your senpai, whatever, with your hands
in your pockets. Right.
Like you like lean inside, hands in the pocket. That's really disrespectful.
Yeah, and that's interesting because in any manga or anime, if you see a character who's like a real like ruffian, real badass or whatever, hands in the pocket, walking from side to side. That's like real like rude behavior. Like you're a rude boy. So he was doing this stuff. I'm pretty sure he didn't know about that. I think he might have had his hands in his pocket because he was nervous. Because it sounds like after they told him he had this new thing he didn't know about.
Yo, man, that dude's shit scared. I told you, man.
Yeah. So it's just a whole bad situation altogether for him. What legal mindset was saying was they're taking their time with all of this. So like they're just keeping him there longer.
Yeah.
Which is, and I mean, I think they're keeping him there longer just because he's gotten on their bad side. I mean, he was already on their bad side by all the things he did, but like he's just being overly stupid.
Yeah. Plus, like these things, like these trials, it takes time, man.
Right.
Yeah. Remember one of my Korean kohai, she's a songwriter, and this one site used her song without permission, and it wasn't like K-pop, whatever. It's like she made kids song, like nursery rhyme type shit, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And this one site, maybe because it was like kodomo moke for kids, they thought it was okay to just like, use whatever song they can find,
Right.
But without permission. Then she found out, so she sued him, and it took her almost 3 years
To get it settled.
Yeah.
All right.
And-
Hopefully she won.
Yeah, she did win, but the thing is,
Okay.
like,
Cool.
the cost of what? Lawyers, time, whatever, and like
what?
and just like the
Right.
for 2-3 years straight, she couldn't even focus and work stuff. So, and was it a really win? She didn't really get that much because they were like,
Right.
oh, I don't know, this is all we have, take it or leave it, type attitude. And it's not like she's gonna sue again. That's gonna be like another 2 years. So
Yeah.
man, these things take time in Korea, man. Even in Asia, even here, even everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and the court, if they really wanted to, they're just gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna the next trial is gonna be next year. I'll see you next year. If they leave, what they're gonna
Yeah.
do, what Johnny's gonna do? He's stuck in Korea, man. He can't even work.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do in that situation?
I don't know, man.
Because he's not allowed to like leave at all. He can't like leave and come back.
He can't work. Probably like
And
leech off his Asian friend, that Hank dude.
I mean, that's like this horrible look all around. Like now that Hank dude has to like, he's got a dependent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's his lawyer though, right?
Is he?
So I guess, they'll work something out.
Wow, get married, man.
Get married. That's one thing that the legal mindset guy was joking about. Like, oh, these guys, they have this. He was just saying how like they're a couple and stuff. It's very weird. Yeah, oddly took this very personally. Like he said what they went to the court case. I understand that they're covering. That's like coverage of what's going on, right? That's the reason why we know about this stuff. Is that I don't know if they're covering this in the news in Korea or not.
Oh,
Because
they are.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're covering it. They're not like
Yeah.
it's enough people hate this guy. Well, that's true though. He was in the news already, so you're going back to like the story basically.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I don't know. I hope all the copycats are watching that stuff too. But then they're copycats to begin with, so they'll be like, "Oh my God, Johnny, like he's our hero. He's fight." I mean, people are dumb, man. So
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that wants to do what he's doing, they're probably the kind of person he is. So they got some kind of issue.
yeah, probably to
They're
them,
not. They're unhappy. They want to get discovered or whatever it is.
I mean,
right?
to their eye, is gonna be like, "Oh my God, 초 가꼬이." Yo,
Really?
look at him.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
to
have problems
them,
if they think that. They
of
think
course.
that's cool.
Of course they have problems. Next thing you know, bottle to the head, man. Whoosh.
Oh, you know what I saw, man? Like I saw a video. They're saying people in Japan are just straight up like attacking streamers, like foreigner streamers.
Heard this from my friend in Japan. You see these news about like these nuisance streamers and tourists and gaijins every single day. There's some kind of news. Japanese media is like on full blast now. They keep
Damn,
showing all
dude.
these like, yo, I look at these like shitreina gaijins. They're ruining Japan every day on every news. At least one, whatever story being
Dude,
covered. Yeah, say like every day. So now like the gaijin, the gaijin hate is through the roof right now.
well, dude, what are we gonna do? You got the Asian camouflage, dude. We go to Japan to like film and do stuff. Like people just gonna look at me and be like,
If people come in, I'm like, I'm just pointing you. I'm like,
You're like,
gaijin.
well, that's the thing. I'm glad at least I speak Japanese. So I
That's
make
how you
myself
get away with a lot
understood.
of things, right? I'm like, oh yeah, chigaimasu. Then they were like, oh, maybe he grew up in Japan, so to the next gaijin or something like that.
Well, I mean, I won't get away with anything. I won't be doing anything bad to begin with. But like, at least,
But then
you know, if
yeah.
what were you gonna say?
No, but then you have these people that you can't reason because they're already like, oh, they made up their minds. When they
Yeah,
approach,
at least
so.
you know what? In my experience, I've been in situations where people have come at me misunderstanding things, and like, at least back then, dude, me speaking Japanese was kind of a disarming thing. Like they were like, whoa, what? Like it kind of like short circuited, and then they're like, what's up with this dude? And then they listen. Nowadays, who knows, dude? I don't know if they're meeting any nuisance foreigners, streamers that speak Japanese. I'm guessing they don't, because if anybody went through the trouble of learning Japanese, they wouldn't do any of this dumb shit. They would know better. They'd just say, you know what, this is mazui. It's, they're,
Yo, so that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I think that's part of you turning into a Japanese person, as they say, as we say too. But it's always super awkward when you see other Americans being an asshole. And let's say, like, meet at a bar or a club. Like, oh, you American? I'm from New York, whatever, LA, whatever. I'm from wherever, right? Oh, like fellow American. Then you do kanpai, okay, maybe whatever, fellow American.
Right.
The next thing you know, this dude is being a fucking asshole to every Japanese person.
right.
And at that point, I'm like, what do I do? In his eye, it's going to be like, oh, I thought we're fellow Americans. You think you're Japanese, right?
Nah, dude.
And from a Japanese side, I'm like, yo,
You're on your own, homie.
so I'm like in the middle, just like, what do I do? But again, man, those cases I always chose common sense, not to lean on, either side. Like, I don't want to be an American or Japanese in this case. But again, people who haven't traveled much, they always fall into those things. Like, oh, I thought you were American. I thought we're fellow Americans.
Like, yeah, I am. It doesn't mean
So
I'm a
what,
dickhead like you.
Exactly.
Like, that's
But,
what you
they're
tell
all-
these people.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's, man, if I go to that Shibuya Famima, the one in Udagaocho, I think that's the naughty雰囲気 there with all those like gaijins in America.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I tell
pretty
you,
sure.
like, if-
Go ahead.
yeah, you're saying?
I'm pretty sure like a lot of gaijins who've been living in Japan and fully assimilated don't even want to get close to any of those things. Like even like Shibuya or gaijins, whatever, right?
Right.
Because they're gonna be like, you guys should not be doing this. This is Japan. Respect the culture here. And the
right.
asshole gaijin is gonna be like, yo, man, come on now. You're American too, man. Let's be. And I'm like, man. Just thinking about that. Just thinking about it. I'm just,
Yeah, it's upsetting, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny. Like, I've met the only foreigners I met in like in a situation where they weren't introduced to me in Japan was probably like, yeah, it's Roppongi. Like going out there with like my friends Diego and Carla to Cafe Latino, and then just walking around. Everybody's drunk as hell. Like, it's a mess. And I mean, like I always avoided Roppongi. I didn't go to Roppongi until like probably after more than 2 years living in Japan. I just never wanted to go because all I'd ever heard about Roppongi was bad things from Japanese people in LA, from Japanese people in Japan. And like I remember at Kodansha, they're like, you like to go to Roppongi, right? And I'm like, no, I've never been. And they're like, eh? They're like, that's where all the gaijin go. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like going there. yeah, I'm not trying to go out there. Like I've never heard anything good about Roppongi. And then eventually, that time I went there to watch a World Cup game with a French guy and two of his Japanese friends. And then I met my friends from Argentina there. And then like I met a bunch of people from Argentina. And then like I would go out there to hang with them. But the foreigners I met at Roppongi were like the worst, dude. They were like again, alcohol's involved. Sure. People kind of like get sloppy when they're drunk. But like, nah, dude, these people were still like, they're out of control.
Yeah. And a lot of them on purpose too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yo, like I'm gonna go out, just be a full asshole tonight.
Yeah. To be fair, dude, I've seen just as many Japanese people in Roppongi doing exactly the same thing.
I mean, that's why they go to Roppongi, right?
That's why they go to Roppongi. They're like, we're gonna be animals tonight because this is where the animals,
reside.
aka foreigners. Yeah, I mean, those people. Again, you know, the young people. I get it. They just want to while out, and like Japanese people are not. They have a certain way of whiling out, which is kind of like pretty chill. It's like, yahoo! Put your necktie around your head and take your shirt off and
high touchy.
You know,
by the way,
it's pretty chill.
High five is not really a thing in Japan, but they call it that because they do high touchy, right?
Yeah,
high touchy.
But I would always tell them it's high five. I would always teach them, and they're like, "Nande five?" And I'm like,
"Go.
Yubi gohon dakara." And they're like, "Eh."
And that's what they say to you. Whoosh.
Yeah. But yeah, Roppongi was crazy.
Yeah, man. Roppongi.
Yo, so today I've been doing something a little bit different. I've just been sketching different things and stuff, right? Like last time I did, you know, one drawing of Cringe Musume as cosplaying as Momo from
Dan.
But this is for anybody watching this, right? What's more interesting? Me drawing like a bunch of different things, kind of like, you know, sketching and doing, you know, kind of a little bit of everything, kind of working things out, or doing something finished, or like, you know, a process drawing of something. You know, like this sketching thing is actually pretty relaxing for me personally, because, you know, I just kind of, you know, there's no real pressure. I'm just kind of doing whatever and, you know, playing with shapes and stuff while I'm talking with Duck. But I am interested, and this is for those of you who comment, or those who have never commented, but you can comment this time. Let me know. I really want to know, like, what kind of things should I draw? I enjoy drawing. And I'm just curious. I'm curious because this is a different type of video we're doing today. Yeah. Or, you know, this is our second one, but like we're trying different things. You know, we've got our like, you know, got our videos that are edited differently with different things. This one is more like a studio, you know, BTS
or everyday talk.
Right. But in terms of like what we're doing here, you know, do you want to see things in color? Do you want to see like how I work color? Are there certain types of, I don't know, characters? Is there like a certain thing you'd like me to see me draw? I'm really curious about that. So yeah, let us know, please.
You know what should you draw?
What's that?
Like these different characters we met in Japan, like the weird ones. Only the weird ones that we met in Japan.
The weird ones, like like that Joso Osan, the school uniform old man with the beard.
Or remember the Sentinel of Akiba?
Oh yeah,
that dude with the huge, was it a sword or gun?
Yeah, he had a sword. He had like a cosplay. He was like a weird cosplay thing.
But it was only the sword. Guy. He was wearing regular clothes too, right?
Yeah, I think he was just wearing black. He had like a jacket and pants, and then he was just crouching with his sword.
The Berserker type sword, right?
Yeah. Yo, it wasn't that big. Like we've seen some crazy big ones in conventions, but like it was a big sword, and he was just crouching. Like when you leave the station, when you get out of the Akihawara station, right in front of the Denki, whatever that place is called, he was just crouching on one knee.
The corner, right?
Yeah. And he had his sword, and he was just like, and I don't even know what he was looking at. But he stood in that position.
Yeah, forever, man. We walked around, ate, did things, and came back. He was still there.
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Yo, man. That, again, the Sentinel
he was protecting
of Akiba.
All of us, dude.
お世話になりました。ありがとうございます。
Yeah. What do you think was going on in his head?
It's like I have to protect these peasants and these.
Was he trying to pick up a
gaijins.
princess Meido Cafe Furita part-timer dude? Is that the?
I don't think they take that Deguchi either. It's like what we just talked about, like Kabajos and all the Fuzokujos.
But they pass their flyers out there, dude. You see them all lined up there passing their flyers.
They do,
right?
they do. But I don't know if they're the same girls that you will meet if you actually go to the Meido Cafe.
You think they're just they just pass out flyers and that's it? Because they're dressed up though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like they're not just
probably
like people passing flyers.
They just pick the pretty ones and take them outside. So people, they look at those girls and they go to the Meido Cafe and think like, oh my god,
they got the homely, not so good looking ones behind the counter
and you
serving
go
the home nice dude.
But when you go in, it's like a surprise.
I don't know, man.
There's
That
your
doesn't seem
mue omurai for 5,000 yen.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think maybe like. What do you think is the easier job, passing out flyers or being behind the counter and making the little cafe au lait with the heart and the little heart nice with the ketchup?
I mean, I passed out flyers too for clubs and events.
Right.
So
is that the more chill?
Yeah, kind of. Unless you meet these creeps like mad, like skoy ass dudes, like onesan bango oshite. Like some dudes are kind of like that, right?
Right.
And I think now with all these inbound gaijins, when you get out the Denki Gai and there's the main street, right? Where Johnny got punched. Like along that street all the way to Suehirocho, there are lines of these Meido girls passing out flyers. And it's Japan too. Everybody is lined up too.
So, well, like the flyer thing, I always felt bad for people passing out flyers in Tokyo.
Ah, man.
Because they get ignored.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, me too.
I would say at least 80% of the time, and the ignoring thing is it's not even like, oh no, I'm good. Like I don't take flyers either, but
again,
like what I noticed was different is like at least I would acknowledge, this. Arigatou gozaimasu. But people just, it's like they're not even there. And like I felt horrible. Yeah. Maybe I was in Tokyo for too long. And I was feeling lonely, but I felt bad for these girls because like hordes of people walk by them because there's a lot of people. It's not like, and it's like they don't exist.
Again, the tissue thing we talked about, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I would just like ask, can I get 2 more? Because I thought I was helping them. Because they have norma. They have to pass out this much of a flyer or tissue or whatever. But they'll be standing outside forever.
Right.
And I think somebody's, watching them too. Some kind of managers watching them. So they can't do it. But then I was like, oh, can I get like 2 or 3 more? I thought I was helping them. At the same time, they're like, yeah, dame this. I'm like, dame nano sore. I thought I was helping. But nah, people watching. There are managers watching them. Overlords just like flying over them. Aizu, nikko kubatta na. Yeah.
They're like, you're fired.
You're fired.
You gave the gaijin an extra back then, Kleenex.
A lot of tissue or flyer, kubari in Shibuya. A lot of gyaro used to do that stuff. The dudes, like the gyaro dudes, the dark dudes with pink, silver hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of gyaros used to do that. So, of course, a lot of hip-hop dudes would just mess with them outside of the station. Gyaro! Tissue. And of course, they're like super bushy.
Well, good for them, dude.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, these hip-hop
guys were just as uzai, dude.
Assholes, man. Assholes. Oh, gyaro. Chirashi kure. Chirashi. And again, man, like these Japanese street kids.
How old were they?
20-something, man. Or like even younger. But yo, like assholes are assholes. Their senpais are assholes. Their friends are assholes. And especially like in the hip-hop community. Now they think, just because they dress hip-hop, like big clothes, now they think they're thugs and stuff, right?
Right.
And these kids, man, I've seen kids just, throwing cigarette butts to old people.
Yo, your hip hop crew sucks, dude.
Well, not my hip hop crew, but
I'm just playing, dude.
Was it me? Like kids like flipping over the parked bicycles. The mama charis.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Get drunk and just like flip them over.
Man, that reminds me of the homie JPBM, dude. How he said he went to a bar in Osaka, and then like when he came out, the only bike that was flipped over was his. And out of the whole row of bikes, like they knew it was his and they flipped it over.
Probably one of us. No.
Have you watched any JPM videos recently?
No.
I wonder what he's up to. I went by his channel. But it was like one of those like they're playing like that Yakuza game. Man, is that Yakuza game old as shit, dude? Like
there are many
is there
versions.
a new one?
Many versions. Yeah. And the newest one, man, again, like I say this again, how they made Kabukicho in that game. Oh my god.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Right.
The texture of the street, the pavement, and all these little alleys, dirty alleys, bright lights. Man, oh my god. And they even have like Donki there, Fujisoba. Fujisoba is in that thing too.
Nice.
Yeah. Probably they got sponsored. No, Fujisoba.
Oh, they called it Fujisoba?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Some
that's
stores, they use the exact same. Probably they got sponsored by them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing
that's
too,
cool.
like Fujisoba. I don't know if people, probably if somebody who knows Fujisoba watch our Fujisoba video, probably they'll notice it. They noticed it. But that's the thing. Fujisoba, Tennai, inside of the store, it's always Enka playing.
You got to keep it traditional, dude.
Yeah. You know why?
What's
Because
that?
the founder of Fujisoba, he's a lyricist. He wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's like a Enka songwriter?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
shit.
writes lyrics. It's a funny story. This dude, like, once he started Fujisoba, and Fujisoba became a chain then, and he was kind of like stable. I think it was at 50. He was like, I always wanted to write lyrics for Enka songs.
Oh, snap.
So he started after his business got a little stable. He went to school or like maybe to practice writing Enka lyrics and stuff. So he wrote a lot of Enka lyrics. That's why. And
Nice.
I always thought like Fujisoba, is this a fucking label too? Because it's always Enka. And all the posters is like older lady, Enka kashu, Enka singer in kimono, like with her sakura, leaf, whatever, with her umbrella. Koi no kanashi koi, with the like,
Right. They like
the
those sad songs, dude.
titles and stuff. But yeah, so Fujisoba, the owner, the founder dude, he's a super Enka enthusiast.
Nice. Hey, I don't know if you know about this. This is music related. Why do Japanese people like sad songs? Do you know?
I think it's more about like the sad koi.
Like
Sad
love,
song.
not
Yeah, sad love
Right.
song. I mean, that's the thing about Japanese culture. It's been like that forever. Plus, I mean, it sounds like that because the Japanese scale, the music scale they use back in the day. Not now, because now we have like American scales or whatever scales. But back in the days, how Japanese shamisen, ding, ding, ding. Man, that shit, like, sometimes it sounds creepy as fuck, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Especially,
That's an awesome instrument.
Yeah, but sometimes when you listen to it, it sounds really creepy, and that's why a lot of ghost movies they use that, right?
Right.
But
Man, there was I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, but I think that's why it. Plus, on top of that, lyrics or like the sentiment itself, because back in the day, like Showa or Taisho, whatever, all the love stories, most of them they end up just okay, let's die together.
Right, dude. Like,
So that's
yeah,
like, yeah, kanashi koi. Korega, this is real love. I mean, that thing, that sentiment with the culture, it's been around forever, man. On top of that,
Right.
the shami or the Japanese skill, it makes it even sadder when you sing it, right? Plus the kabuki style singing on top of that for enka.
right.
Man. So it's a combination of many things, I think.
Yeah, because that's. Man, I remember Jiro was around when I was there, or actually, I think he was already kind of like, kind of losing popularity. But I remember when I did Pipochu, one of the things they said in one of the the ads for the comic was like, "Manga Gyokai no Jiro." It's like, this is the comic book, the manga industry Jiro. For those who don't know, Jiro was a enka singer who's this black guy from, I don't know if he's from Atlanta or somewhere in the US, but he had a Japanese grandma he grew up with. And then he moved to Japan to sing enka because that's what his grandma sang to him like when he was little. And so, it's this story that everybody really liked. And so he had a couple songs. I don't know if they were like huge hits or not, but he was really popular. Everybody knew who Jiro was.
Right.
But like Japan, Japan is very finicky with like fads and hayaris, like things that are like popular for like like a blink of an eye. So like he was like huge because he was like this black dude. I don't know if he was like half or not, but he sang enka, which is like traditionally Japanese, and also older people like enka for the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this was this young guy who was a gaijin, and he sang enka, and it was like, oh, but by the time I was there, he kind of wasn't around anymore. And then,
I mean, it's always like those guys. It's always a one-time thing.
right? It's like
a one and done type. And plus,
Yeah.
they like Japanese media or the culture itself. They don't want a gaijin to long run. It's like, okay,
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like,
Really?
you can't take over the industry, or maybe that's how I felt. That's what I felt when I was in Japan. Why? That's what and how I felt when I was in Japan.
You felt like there was like a
Always
stopper
a
to the
stop.
process.
Yeah, always a stop. And I think a lot of gaijins. I mean, look at the shaka, the kaisha world in this like corporate world is something.
Yeah,
You can start as a gaijin, whatever, and then you hit
there's a limit to how far you can.
You hit the ceiling, unless you're somebody already from like in your country or
Right.
like the HQ of that company, and they send a shacho or a CEO to Japan. That's a different case, but most gaijins, I think there's a limit. And even I think we talked about this too, becoming a doctor. It's like, nah, man. First of all, it's hard to become a doctor as a gaijin. And second of all, like, people don't want to see you because they want to go to a
Right.
Japanese doctor, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
a lot of prestigious jobs in Japan is reserved for Japanese. And you see Chinese people or like Koreans, but they're Korean Japanese or Chinese Japanese. They grew up in Japan. So they're pretty
Right.
much Japanese. But a lot of things I think is kind of like, especially in the entertainment industry too. Or again, I think that's why like Bobby and all these other gaijin talento.
Yeah. After a while, they go somewhere. They go to Korea, or they go somewhere else.
Or they just, don't break a character. Just be that dumb gaijin. Just be the
Right. Well, that's what they.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Like,
Right.
Don't. That's your yakuari. Don't do anything else other than that.
Well, you know what
Just
though?
do that.
That's the thing. I think you fall in the trap of being the dumb foreigner, and then that becomes your character, and then you can't break it. You can't become that character to begin with. Like there are gaijin over there that don't have like that character, right?
Right.
Like there are a lot who do, and that becomes their bread and butter. Is just Nani mo wakaramasen. Like you got some weird accent that you don't even really have.
People just
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember people telling me, oh, like this guy, like he fakes his accent.
Yeah.
Like he speaks Japanese just fine, but for TV, he,
So
you
many
know,
of
he's
them. Yeah, so many
right.
of them.
So, because you know, a lot of those people, or many of those people, are married to a Japanese person. They've been there for like decades.
Right.
You know, and again, it's kyara tsukuri. Like you're creating a character for the media. So Japanese people create a character for the media. Like
Yeah.
all of these people are characters on TV. Like
100%.
they don't behave like normal people, and that's not who they are. But you have to become a character, kind of like a cartoon, basically.
Yeah.
And unless you're on TV as an expert of some subject matter
Even that,
they
man, yeah.
have you on.
Yeah.
Well, but see, you have people who do speak seriously and they're not up to shenanigans or doing bullshit. Like they're just giving their opinion on something or whatever, right? You do have like you have a lot of older, like middle-aged Japanese guys that are on TV that aren't like, they don't have a shtick. They're just there to give their opinion about stuff, right?
Maybe that's their character too. Just like,
Well,
naruhodo.
again, not doing what you're doing right now. They're just a person. They're not
Or
like doing weird shit. Like
those guys,
just
like, dudes with the glasses, like, oh, and this is like, I say, what's going
because there's plenty of those. There's plenty of those.
Some
dude.
dudes are like shiroto sugiru, too amateur. They're like, this with their glasses, like, これはですね, this, and like, okay, ありがとうございました. Producer's like, get him out now, get him out.
Man, like that's one thing that made it a little bit hard for me to watch Japanese TV was like the whole, like it's very what do you call it? Like artificial.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like TV here is not. TV here is artificial as hell
every
too,
TV is kind of
you
like
know?
that. But Japan, I always tell this to the kids, like Japan, the whole thing is fabricated and it's super artificial, man. It's like,
Right, like-
they have this thing, but when you look at other like let's say like comedy programs or variety shows, right? Like the whatever like stupid shows they do, it's always the same. You laugh at this joke, and they always have this thing they do in the beginning and the end, and everything. Everybody's like, you know, they say
Right.
it together. You laugh at
Yeah.
this joke, and every
Yeah.
comedian's the same. They do the same thing over and over again, just
Right.
just every week. So you know, people like whatever, let's say like cringy, then everybody Musume type
Right,
stuff.
right.
So everything is like they know when to do, like when to laugh and when to do.
You know,
stuff. That's a whole
Yeah, and that's on
society.
purpose.
That's whole society in Japan.
But
Yeah.
you know what it is though is like I feel like people find comfort in knowing when to laugh and
Right,
knowing
yeah,
when to go
exactly.
hey and knowing
Hey,
ooh, like
ooh,
it's like
yeah.
right. Like I think
The whole
That's-
the whole SFX. it's there.
Yeah.
You just have to push the buttons. Right?
right. Yeah, and I think that's kind of like if you didn't have that, obviously people who don't like that they don't watch those shows because there's plenty of people who don't watch Japanese TV.
Oh, not anymore.
For that reason, right? But the people who do, they like the comfort of knowing, oh, this is the whatever guy.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think is an important reason for that, I don't know how things are right now. I'm curious to see, you know.
Oh,
but like
Fuji Terebi and okay. Go
yeah,
on.
Fuji Terebi is right. Yeah, we could talk about that, but I'll wrap it up here. But like, TV was something that everybody, at least back when I was there, and for the longest time, it was something. There's only a few channels, and everybody watches the same programming.
Yeah.
So it's something people can talk about
Yeah.
in the outside world.
Yeah.
Without having to give too much about themselves or their opinions. They can always say, oh, did you see so-and-so? Did you see when he did whatever?
Yeah.
And then they all imitate the same thing. They can all laugh.
Then ha ha ha.
And it's safe.
Yeah.
Safe,
Yeah.
you know?
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Again, man, like I felt that way when I was in Japan too. It's like it's a social manual.
Yeah.
You do that, you watch it, so you can, you know, all talk about it the next day at work without you know talking about anything else
Or
like
at the
yourself,
bar
yeah,
or anything, yeah.
Yeah. And people they do Japanese people love these weird
Right. Because it shows that you're up to date on what's going on.
Yeah.
And man, if I ever like imitate, I didn't like any of those things, but like I knew some of the comedy stuff. You know, like that like goo lady. There was a lady that her whole shtick was like they would tell her, so she was a comedian, right? And they would talk. There'd be some scenario at a talk show, whatever, and then her response would be good.
Right. Yeah.
That was like she was on the train. There were stickers of her on the doors of the train. There was billboards, and all she did really, her shtick was good. There was the gets. There was a guy. It's gets is just good, but a different person.
Eyes or the Genojings, they always have those things like that one shot, whatever, like the signature move, right?
Right.
And then that just becomes everywhere.
Right. And then people use those things in social environments. You know, they'll joke around. They'll have something to joke around. And I remember me just knowing those things blew people's minds. They're like, oh shit, like you're here. You're like one of us, dude. You know these things, you know, like. And I always found it, I mean, I understand why it's convenient in the social scenario in Japanese society to have these kind of things to be able to like open conversation or lean on, you know?
Yeah, man, at least, man, you were nice about it. But me, like when people were doing like, good, or you know, what else was there? Like, getsu, those things.
Right.
Like when we drink outside, even at the club. Stuff, right? People like getsu to girls. I'm like, fuck out of here, man. What is that shit? Yeah, daku wa kibishii. I'm like, man, shut up. And but again, man,
why you hating so hard, dude?
Born hater, man. Can't help it.
Nani?